Welcome to Zach's Traders Cafe and the second part of our interview with Paul Vonk, Managing Director at Angus Energy. Let's move along to Horsell. There are new operations there. How's that going to affect the shareholders? How's that going to affect Angus Energy?
Well, first of all, we're very excited about that part. This is the reason why we came to investors with the IPO in the first place. Is that originally the company refocused after the well test results came out from Horsell, where we flowed for the first time sweet hydrocarbon with better quality than Brent from a layer that has always been overlooked, this layer of the Kimmeridge in the Weald Basin in southern England. Horsell was the first well that proved it. We have the production license at Balcombe next door. At the beginning of the year, we acquired the interest in the Balcombe license, and we are the operator there. So that's to the south, and then we have Litsea further close to the coast. Basically, that is all the same reservoir. So with Horsell doing the well test over the summer, they are testing the same reservoir that we will be producing from afterwards.
From a private investor who doesn't want to strain themselves too much, it's basically one large field, let's say, or one large unit, which are potentially producing unit.
Correct. And what is so interesting about the Horsell well test is that they're going to test the Kimmeridge now for a long time. They've only tested it briefly. We are going to do the 7-day well test at Balcombe, which is going to test the center. And we did a news announcement a few weeks ago that actually all the way to the south, where we never expected it, we also have sweet, better than Brent, movable hydrocarbons at Litsea as well. We never expected that. So we're going to have a really interesting summer ahead of us with the Horsell well test, the Balcombe well test, and then we're planning to switch on Balcombe.
Paul, let's talk Balcombe. We spoke a lot about the information from the current operations at Horsell, but you've got prospects at Balcombe. What's the rationale for forming the joint venture there with Quadrilla and Lucas? We
were very happy that we were able to join the Quadrilla and Lucas partnerships. We will have a lot to learn from them, and they have a lot to learn from us because we're very much a southern non-fracking wheel player. They're big players, and getting that vote of confidence from us that we could join their partnership and operate it was a really big milestone for a small company and junior company.
So it's a validation, basically.
Absolutely, absolutely. When they arrived a few years ago and they said, okay, we want to explore what we have in the Weald, they had first pick. So they picked the best license in the central part of the Weald. So if you look at the Weald Basin in a cross structure, it thins out to the north and to the south, and in the middle it's deeper and it's thicker. So that license, the Balcombe license, is in the central part. That's the one we liked. We have a production field at Balcombe, which is next to Horsell. And like I said last time we spoke, is that that's going to be tested shortly, or it's being tested as we speak.
And this we will find out the answers imminently.
The well is already drilled. We're only going to switch it on to see what the flow rates are, and then we'll take the steps afterwards.
Right, I mean, part of the game of oil and gas exploration is financing. Maybe that's 90% of the game, I don't know. But corporate finance, the last round that you had, the market wasn't particularly enthused about it, or didn't appear to be. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, which is strange, because remember why we did the fundraising in the first place. We did the fundraising to complete the acquisition of our interest in the Balcombe license, which is really a transformational milestone for the company because it guarantees the long-term future growth of the company. So we had very clear strategic objective why we wanted that. And then we had to do the fundraising. Well, we had several offers on the table, but if we would have done it straight equity, then the dilution would have been significant for the existing shareholders. And myself as an existing shareholder included, we want to keep dilution to the minimum. So because we are a production company, we have the ability to have a combination of equity and debt. Normal companies have a combination of equity and debt. And in this case, what we looked at is that this will not be converted immediately, will be converted over time. And while we are doing our operational program, at the end, when this loan is either repaid by ourselves or converted over time, we expect that conversion to be significantly less than the conversion than the dilution that was on the table with a straight equity deal.
One of the issues, apart from corporate finance, is permission, local councils, and that process seems to be, despite what we're told, it's not an easy thing to get through or to achieve, even these days. What can you tell us about the progress as far as the Balcombe oil field is concerned?
Well, at Balcombe it's very important to note we do have all the permissions, but we also have to work with all our stakeholders. And we've been at the Balcombe field. The Balcombe field has been there for almost 30 years. We want to be there for a very long time. The best way to manage this process is to get a solution that everybody's happy with. So we've been working with Surrey County Council. Now, it's important to take a step back because people are very focused on the delays. Actually, that doesn't really matter to us at the moment because what's happening is the Horsell well test is going on right now. It's the same reservoir. Afterwards, we want to switch on the Balcombe field because we need the same equipment to switch on the Balcombe field to go to Balcombe afterwards. And then we plan to go to Balcombe. So actually, from an operational point of view, there's no change for us.
Okay, let's go on to the Lidsey field. Got good results there, promising results. How far do you think you're going to go with that?
The news release that we gave of the Lidsey field is that we perforated the Kimmeridge layers at Lidsey, basically to delineate where we can find movable hydrocarbons. We never had the expectation that we actually would have movable hydrocarbons there at the Kimmeridge layer because we thought it was too far south. The Kimmeridge layers would have thinned out. But what we found out, it is beautiful, good quality, lighter crude than Brent in Lidsey. So if we have it that far south in the basin, it is actually an approval because that movable hydrocarbon will then be in the complete basin. And that is the important piece of that news piece because it de-risks Balcombe, it de-risks Balcombe, and it further de-risks any other wells that you're going to drill in the area.
And do you think the market appreciates how much you've de-risked your company?
Zach, I doubt it. Seriously, I doubt it. No, we went to the stock market at 6p in November 2016. Since then, we delivered on our promises of drilling the wells, drilling them safely, drilling them on budget, de-risking it with the results that we gathered. The only thing that we are going to do now is basically switch the wells on that we drilled. And that's going to happen over the next few months. So it's a really exciting time for the company. And when you look at our share price, unfortunately, it is actually slightly lower even than the IPO price. So yes, very strange.
Paul Vonk, Managing Director at Angus Energy, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much, Zach.
Thank you to Paul Vonk, Managing Director at Angus Energy.